Hey everyone, Taru from Find a Masters and Find a PhD here. If you're studying abroad right now or are planning to, you've probably asked yourself, what happens after I graduate? Do I need to leave immediately or can I stay and work in the country? Today I'll be walking you through the post-study work visas in 6 major study destinations: the UK, US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand and Germany. These visas allow you to stay after graduation and find work, in some cases even leading towards a path to permanent residency. However, here's the catch. Every country has different rules, and not all of them will necessarily suit your study abroad needs. So, in this video, I'm going to break it all down country by country. So, let's get into it. Let's start with the UK, where I did my master's actually. The post-study work visa here is called the graduate route. It allows most international students to stay and work in the UK, no job offer needed and no sponsorship required. Now, an important update. The UK government plans to reduce the master's graduate route to 18 months, but they haven't announced when this will actually happen. We'll keep you updated with all the new developments through our websites and newsletters. You can use the sign-up link in the description. PhD and other doctoral graduates can stay for 3 years. To apply, you must have studied in the UK for at least 12 months or for the full duration of your course if it's shorter. You can apply for the graduate route visa online. Make sure you have your passport, your BRP if you have one, and your CAS number from your university. You'll need to pay an application fees and a health surcharge for every year you wish to stay in the UK. Check our websites to know the latest cost of a UK graduate route visa. For me, the application process was fairly simple. I had to wait a few weeks after my final results for my university to send a confirmation email saying that they've done all the procedures that they needed to. I applied online and I needed my passport details of where I've lived in the UK, my course details, especially my CAS number, but I didn't need to submit any physical documents. I got a confirmation email from the Home Office a week after, and about a week after that, I got my BRP in the post, and that was it. Know that your university is always there to help, so if you are having any difficulties or you need to submit your visa application by a certain date, please get in touch with your university's International Student Office. Now let's talk about the United States. In the US, international graduates can stay and work by applying for something called the Optional Practical Training or OPT. This isn't a separate visa, but just a work authorization under your existing F1 student visa. Here's how it works. You can stay for up to 12 months after graduating, and this bit's very important, in a job related to your degree. If you've done a STEM degree, science, technology, engineering, or maths, you can apply for a 24-month extension, meaning you can stay for up to 3 years in total. You must work in your field of study, and if you're applying for the STEM extension, your employer must be part of the E-Verify program. You can also do something called a pre-completion OPT while you're still studying, but keep in mind, any time used up during your degree will be deducted from the total time you get after graduation. You'll need to file a Form I-765. You'll also need a signed Form I-20 from your university, copies of your passport and visa, and 2 passport-sized photographs. Also, your university has to recommend you for the OPT by updating your service record. So get in touch with your university ahead of time. Now let's talk about Australia. If you've recently graduated from an Australian university, you can apply for the temporary graduate visa subclass 485. How long you can stay depends on your qualifications. If you've completed a taught master's, you can stay for 2 years. A research master's gets you 3 years. And if you've completed a PhD, you can also stay for 3 years. There are also special rules for certain nationalities. Indian graduates can stay for an extra year, and if you're from Hong Kong or you are a British overseas national, you can stay for up to 5 years. To qualify, you need to have studied in Australia for at least 2 academic years. You'll need a valid passport, a completion letter from your university, and proof that you have health insurance for the duration of your stay. You'll also need to show that you meet minimum English language requirements, which might involve submitting results from a test like IELTS. You can find out more about English language tests on our websites. Just follow the link in the description. The good news is the application can be done all online, and once granted, the visa gives you full working rights. In Canada, international graduates can apply for the Post-Graduation Work Permit or PGWP. If your program was less than 8 months long, unfortunately, you won't be eligible. But if your course lasted for 8 months or more, you can get a PGWP for 3 years. Most master's and PhD programs will qualify you for these 3 years. Now, you have to apply within 180 days of receiving your final marks or a letter of completion from your university. And your study visa must be valid at the time of application. When applying, you'll need your proof of graduation. This can be a degree certificate or an official letter from your university. Plus, you'll also need your academic transcripts. In some cases, you may be asked for a recent language test or proof of a medical exam. Processing times can take several months, so be strategic. Apply as soon as you're eligible and don't leave it to the last minute. In New Zealand, graduates can apply for a post-study work visa that lets you stay and work for up to 3 years if you've completed a master's or a PhD. To be eligible, you must have studied in New Zealand for at least 30 weeks. If you're a master's graduate, you need to apply no later than 3 months after your student visa expires. For PhD students, this window is 6 months. The documents you'll need are your passport, proof that you've completed your degree like a degree certificate or an official letter, and proof that you meet the minimum financial requirements. You might also be asked for medical or police certificates. The best part is that this visa lets you work in any job, including being self-employed. Finally, let's look at Germany. If you've graduated from a German university, you can apply for an 18-month resident permit, which allows you to stay and look for a job related to your degree. You need to prove that you're actively looking for a job in a field related to your studies. But you can work in any job during the search period to support yourself. The 18-month period starts right after you've completed your final exam, so it's really important to apply early. Delaying your application might mean losing precious time on the visa. To apply, you'll need a valid passport, proof of graduation like a degree certificate or an official letter, proof of health insurance, and confirmation of accommodation like a rental contract. Proof of funds is also essential, and in some cases you might also need a medical insurance certificate that complies with German standards. You'll need to apply in person at your local immigration office, and it is a good idea to get your appointment in advance, especially in larger cities where wait times might be longer. That's your complete guide to post-study work visas in UK, US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and Germany. Check out the Masters and PhDs in these countries using the link in the description, and don't forget to subscribe for more postgrad advice. And remember, staying abroad after graduation takes planning, but it's 100% possible with the right info. Good luck, and I'll see you in the next one.